Well, I have to say this at the beginning. My phone is doing pretty darn good because in the past, sometimes it would get really, really hot. And lo and behold, lately I've been getting only using 10% of the battery for an hour long video, and the phone is not getting hot. I am so happy with whatever's going on that you can't believe how happy I am about that my phone is just not getting hot. So I'm not sure what happens where sometimes it's hot and sometimes it's not. But I wanted to talk about this issue because this is something that I was listening to on well, it's related to the swelling of the ocular nerve in the eye, the swelling of the eye. And I was experiencing this a few years ago. And I had an eye doctor actually tell me, he said that what I was probably having was a silent migraine. That's what he called it, was a silent migraine. There's not a lot about that. Um, what I'm finding is mental stress as a consequence and cause of vision loss and the dawn of psychosomatic ophthalmology for preventative and personalized medicine. Stress and swelling. So let me look first here at this little part, because now the thing that I was experiencing was the sparkling. And so I'd been, the thing is, I'd been doing some work on the computer. I was stressed because I was losing revenue. And plus, it was at the time before the insurrection. It was around Black Lives Matter, Antifa era 2015. And things, I was getting yelled at a lot, and things were like really difficult for me. So I want to go on to read this little part about the auras, because I was reading things from people, and it's like what's coming across is like, oh my gosh, you're sounding crazy. However, now there's something in here when I go into the Google Scholar and I put in here under Google Scholar, it was talking about an artistic thing related to sparkling of the eye or something. It was like an artistic something or another in, well, I guess views with artists when they visualize auras. Maybe it's the stress of the starving artist, I'm not quite sure. But navigating life with a migraine and other headaches, the auras that you have. Sometimes mine was in one eye. I would feel a tugging in my eye. I didn't understand what the tugging was, but I think it was swelling. I really do. I think it was swelling, stress swelling, because there's a whole bunch of eye swelling and stress under Google Scholar. Mental stress is a consequence and cause of vision loss, the dawn of psychosomatic ophthalmology. And so the loss of vision after damage to the retina, optic nerve, and brain has gone grave consequences in everyday life, such as problematic with recognizing faces, reading, or mobility. Some of this, too, with the computer, can be staring at the screen all day. They call it retina burn, some of that, too. Maybe that's what I was experiencing. But my eye actually felt like it was I felt pressure on my eye. I don't know what was happening, but I literally felt pressure in my eye. Thankfully, I haven't felt that in a long time. So I've been eating a little bit differently, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or if getting out of that bad situation had anything to do with it because of the stress levels. I'm still under stress, but it's a little different than being in a marriage where you feel like you're imminent to being killed. So even though I'm in a very stressful situation right now, it's like I'm not in a place where I have a partner who's supposed to be someone who cares for me, and then I feel like that partner is the person who's actually going to end my life. So stress and swelling, a case of central serious chorioretinopathy. I can't even pronounce that word. Chorioretinopathy. Sound it out. In this case study, a patient presented complaining with central blurred vision in the right eye for 1 week. The diagnosis, central chorioretinopathy. And so pertinent findings. I mean, you know what I did? And I'm going to be done with this part, because the thing is, I think it's stress, what they call computer retina burn. and burnout. And so for me, there was a lot of things that were compounding at the same time. I was the primary breadwinner of the family because of the fact that I was giving him money. He was getting mad at me because I was losing revenue. So all this was accumulating all at the same time. I was having auras. And when I say aura, it was like a sparkling in the right side of my face. This was before I passed out in 2019. Unspeakable 2231, hello. And so this was before I passed out from heat exhaustion in 2019, is when a lot of this was taking place. And so then people were telling me on the internet, they're like, oh my gosh, you keep talking, you're making yourself sound so crazy. But yet there's all this all this stuff here. Well, you know what surfaces is mental stress from all of this. And so here's a little thing about Klaus Podol and Marcus Dahlem, PhD, Richard Grossinger's book, Migraine Auras in the 20th and 21st Century Migraine Sufferers, Personal Record and Synthesis of what currently is known about enigmatic phenomenon, migraine auras, may herald the headache of an acute migraine attack or occur without any pain. It's right here in Google Scholar. The seemingly infinite varieties of aura portrayed in this book consist of brief interruptions of everyday life consciousness occurring in people of all ages at unpredictable times, from Hildegard of Bingen to Marvin McKinsky. These episodes are described by themselves as visions of hell or alternately glimpses of heaven, which that's the sparkling. And so I was going to the eye doctor all the time, not all the time, but I'd feel like, well, something's wrong. I even spent a whole bunch of extra money when my YouTube channel was doing good to go to an extra specialist doctor for them to tell me that there was nothing. He says, well, he says it does kind of look like, he says it looks like your ocular nerves at the back are actually coming in at an angle. He says they're kind of angled. So maybe that's what the doctor at the big box store, he couldn't actually see. He didn't have good enough equipment to actually see into your eyeball to see that everything looks fine. And that's what he told me. He said, everything looks fine. He says, you might have, he was talking about something about some graying, and he said in about 12 years. Well, it's been past the 12 years now. He says if you look up, you might see more graying. And I'm like, huh? And I'm thinking, is he talking about my hair? So he had me look up and then down and up and down, and but he said everything looked fine. He said there could be some, maybe, but we'll just have to see. But he said everything was fine. And so, I took his word for it. And then all this other stuff starts coming out about the retina burn in the eyes with staring at the computer. You do get a little bit of a double vision. Now, the thing with the retina burn is we are looking at resolution that we are not born to look at. We are looking at resolution on the computer screen. We are looking at colors. We're looking at lights that are not natural to the human being. So when you're staring at the computer screen all day, you're putting a strain on your eyes. That's what's going on. I've made, this is my own opinion. Now, I'm not a doctor. Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor, but I think that my opinion should be taken into account related to the things that happen, because where else do doctors get this information from other than from a patient? Well, I don't have a doctor, so the only thing I have right now is the internet. And someone from Congress mentioned retina burn at one time. I agree with them. I didn't have a name for it, but I think that's a good that's a good thing, unless they come up with something else that is a little different. Retina burn is a good thing. Other people have mentioned it on YouTube. You're staring at a computer screen all day long. Your vision gets a little wonky. You're staring at a computer screen all day long. Your eyes get blurred. They get blurred in a different way. You are putting a strain on your eyes, and you're looking at a light that's not natural to you. So that's why, even looking at the phone, I find I don't get it as much looking at the phone because the phone is small. Now the text is small. It makes it harder to do things. This is what I have to say with computer jobs. If you've got someone staring at a screen for 8, I'm going to say more than 6 hours, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems with that person's vision. They're going to be going to the doctor all the time. They're going to be having headaches. They're going to be having dry eyes because that's what happens. So if you're staring at it, it doesn't happen with the TV. If you were up close to the TV all day long, it would be happening. Why if you ain't no doctor? What if you ain't no doctor? I don't have a doctor because I don't have medical care. They gave it all to the migrants. They gave all our medical care to the migrants who came into the country. The 16 million people, they were spending it on them. They weren't giving it to American citizens. So Obama or someone set this up for migrants to have the medical, not American citizens. That's what was happening. That's what's been happening. And so when they brought them into the United States, all the medical went to the migrants, not to American citizens. So what do you guys think about that? People who are not even in our country, they got the medical and we didn't get it. So they basically stole it from us. They stole it from us. And so I would have to have gone to medical school to be a doctor, I guess, unless I was a doctor of like a lawyer type of a doctor. And I guess they have a jurisprudence of some sort, or juris doctorate or something like that for lawyers to become a doctor. I mean, lawyers could actually write up a lot of this stuff, and if they could easily do it in such a way that they sanitize it. That's what they do. They can sanitize it, take out all the names, you strip away all the personal information, and when you have that left, you have information left. And so you put it and you mush it all together. And, they said this on the Golden Girls. They actually said that on the show, The Golden Girls, because Dorothy, I think it was Dorothy, she had said Dorothy was married to Stan. And so I think Blanche was friends with a psychiatrist or something like that. And so they were talking about, they said, well, heck, being a psychiatrist would be one of the most interesting jobs because of the fact that you can listen to people all day long and you can write a lot of books off of that. You just take you just change the names and then you can write whatever you want to, and you're not violating any code of conduct related to the people that you're talking about, even though then it becomes, it's like, well, who would want to go to a psychiatrist like that? Who would want to do that if you have a psychiatrist who is just in it for writing books? And, but of course, look at Dr. Phil, And so I've never, and basically a therapist to begin with anyway is nothing but a person that you talk to. Well, if that's the case, you can talk to yourself. You can talk to artificial intelligence and have that repeat back to you what your problems are. You can sit there and listen. It's like, And I do that all the time. You know what I do? I listen to my own videos and it's like, okay, what is my take from this? I do agree with myself, but is there something else I can change about myself to make myself better, to be more acceptable to society, to be more acceptable to young people, to be more acceptable to kids, for them to think that they're going to come in the world and they're going to change things, which they're not. They're not. I'm straightforward and blunt about that. Kids are not going to come in the world and change anything. What are you going to change it to? Life happens. Life happens to us. It's something we just do. We just exist in society. Nothing is going to change as far as that goes. There's not going to be big changes like people, like colleges and teachers get kids all pumped up. Kids don't have any life experience. Adults know that. That's where teachers become a predator to students, because they know that they can get kids all pumped up and excited about something. Religion does the same thing. Religion is worse, though. At least with school. School gets kids, it can keep them excited. Excited about life. There's nothing wrong with that. I know when I went to graduate high school, I wasn't that excited about life. I was just excited to be done with school. And then it's like, well, now this is my life. This is kind of boring. Then I got married, and it's like, this is even worse than just being single. I got kids now. And then I always thought, gosh, like, um, now what? When does life start happening? It's like you get all pumped up and for graduation, which is just basically just the day, and then that's it. But church, on the other hand, is, give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money. That's what they're always asking for. And so I wanted to touch on this related to the migraine auras and stress and the swelling of the eye, because this is a bona fide conversation now that is being had in, oh gosh, there's a guy, Mike Flood. Yeah, Representative Mike Flood speaks to voters about Trump's agenda. Oh my goodness. I knew I'd seen him somewhere, I think on the internet. And so I'm trying to coincide some of these people together, to establish if what they're saying is legitimate or what's going on. And so, yeah, but I know we were talking about the aura in the eye and mental health and swelling in the eye and stressful situations. And so I just wanted to touch on that. So a lot of these things, when I had my original YouTube channel, this is kind of the direction I was going until an abusive partner got in the way of what I was doing on YouTube. So I was just sharing things and teaching things and trying to get into something that was going to work, hoping that it would work instead of being censored. But then it just seems like, well, censorship is taking place. That's what it felt like. Because if you can't make it work, then, and so it's like, well, why in the world what is Donald Trump talking about that he's being censored? I've always wondered that. He's the most famous person. How could he be censored on the internet when everybody's talking about him? Why would he be censored before? If he was just on TV, he was just on TV before, and people aren't talking about him that much. Now he's talking about, oh, he's being censored. Well, what is he being censored for? He kept, when he was on TV on NBC, he kept touting about having his own TV station. And it's like, well, the only thing that's going to happen there when he talked about that, which everybody's forgotten about that, he was actually literally talking about, I think, that he's just going to be famous and everyone's going to be talking about him. So he's going to be on every TV station across the whole country. And that's a fact. It's not literally a TV station. It's just that, he was a reality TV person who went on TV. And so, okay, so let's deviate back to the eye swelling. And so there's a lot of this in the Google Scholar. You can look this stuff up yourself. I'm going to put some links in the video description below of this video upon completion. I'm going to include the articles that I found related to the sparkling of the eye and migraines and things like that, and also the relationship of stress. And so, yeah, I know they were relating some of it to COVID as well, which COVID in and of itself then has become stress. Now, sometimes I've noticed in myself, I have like little patches of parts of sometimes my head or even my knees. I don't know if it's swelling in my knees. I think it is, because I don't crawl around on my hands and knees much anymore. But when I was younger, maybe I did a little bit more, a lot more. I could move better actually. And so my knees, if I get down on my knees, they kind of hurt a little bit because I'm not used to crawling on my hands and knees. And then especially if I have swelling in my knees, then it actually hurts. And if I have to because I have a problem with mobility, and I think that's from falling. I think that's from injuries. And so I couldn't even get in to see a disability doctor during COVID. I kept calling it discrimination. It's like, well, why is it my ex-husband was able to get disability and I couldn't? Well, and so he got everything he needed and I got nothing. I was made homeless. That's the thing that made no sense to me. It's like, you know, why is it other people are favored? And then here to find out the migrants are favored? If they're taken care of? And so I don't know. I mean, somebody came up with something. I mean, I'm fine with them getting rid of the Democratic Party altogether, or parties altogether, because they're not helping any of us. That's what I see. Um, you know, and so what is pain and suffering? Homelessness is pain and suffering above and beyond. Um, you know, so it adds into all these factors of what's going on. That's just my opinion. And so, um, diagnosis and treatment. Due to the patient's relatively young age, the pressure of unilateral serous retinal detachment was the main working diagnosis. Signs of age-related macular degeneration and choroidal neovascular were ruled out with ophthalmic and OCT evaluation. There's no evidence of inflammation, neoplastic disease, or diabetic retinopathy. The presence of pigmentary changes in the unilateral left eye were consistent with, pigmentary changes. Now, floaters, I don't know what causes floaters. That's something I've had throughout my whole life, where I've had floaters. And sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. They just disappear. But what I've learned is it says that the eye actually learns to see around the floaters somehow. Or something like that, you know. So, but as I've aged, I've had more floaters, you know. So, but I notice the floaters more if I've been staring at the computer all day. I actually notice the floaters more. So sometimes it has me wondering, it's like, well, is that a side effect? I'll tell you something else too that's interesting. So for example, there's a game I like to play and I see these squares. And then when I'm done playing, if I'm playing the game hard and I'm staring at the computer screen hard, and then I look at my skin, I could actually see the shape of the game on my arm. So when they call it a retina burn, that's a fact. That's exactly, I think, what I'm describing is that the image of the screen that I've been staring at all day long then burns into my retina, and then whatever I look at, if there's a consistency of some small things, you know, such as the pores in my skin, or I have little freckles on my skin, and then I look at that, then I see a placement of, it's like, okay, I can be playing this game on my arm now because of the fact it's burned into my retina. And then when I look at my arm, then it's like, well, this is weird because it looks like the game is on my arm. Now, there's something else that's been kind of strange too. I've played this game, woke up in the middle of the night, or did I actually wake up in the middle of the night? But I had the TV on because I fell asleep with the TV on. And then I saw this thing on TV, which I went to the bathroom, so I did get up and go to the bathroom. Otherwise, I would have wet myself. And so it was saying that this game that I've been doing, they said the Mormons call it programming. And so they've been paying their people $27 an hour to play this game, but for some reason they're calling it programming. And so I fell asleep with TikTok on last night. I think I fell asleep with it on a TikTok shop. And so I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to go to the bathroom. And so it's just like, now I know I'm not sleeping that well if I fall asleep with my phone on or the TV on. That's what I've always been told, that sometimes I just like to have a little noise in the room, even during the day, a little bit of noise in the room. So I woke up this morning and I'm on TikTok shop, and there, lo and behold, is this woman, and she looks like she could be AI, but I'm just not quite sure. But she's doing the TikTok shop, and she has this thing that's like a rose at the top of a cake or something like that. She has a rose at the top of something. And I'm like, what is this? Is so weird. Because I made a video on YouTube of a rose on top of a cake. And now this rose is showing up on TikTok. And I'm like, is this AI that's doing this? Is it custom to me? Or is the woman actually a real woman on TikTok? Why would she be doing this all night long? Because there's no reason to be doing this work all night long on the internet. There just isn't. No reason to be doing this. You know, if foreign countries want to do it, they need to do it in their own country. And, you know, but this woman was an American woman. She was speaking English, and she had something that she was doing on TikTok, and it was part of the TikTok shop. And I'm like, and I think that's what woke me up was when she was talking about the rose, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I just made a video very similar to what you just made. What is going on here? This is so weird. What is going on here? Let me see if I can, did I do it on this channel I'm talking on? Or I know I did on another channel. I didn't on, let me see here. Let me go into shorts and see if I can find it. No, it wasn't this channel. It was a different channel. It was another channel that I made the rose on. I thought maybe it was, or no, maybe it was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. It was another channel. And I'm like, that is so weird. AI is like stalking me related to a different channel that I used. And so I'm just trying, what I'm doing is just trying the one topic only on different channels to see if it actually works, which I don't think it does. I mean, yeah, you can make one topic only and get some views from it, but that doesn't mean that it's just going to take off and become viral. You know, so these people who are doing this viral stuff, they've got something else strange going on, and they're always the one who is back in your ear, your comment section. It's like, oh, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make anything of yourself. You're never going to this. You're never going to that. And it's like, why do you have to be there to tell us that? You know, you've got millions of views. I don't need you. I don't want to be a part of what you're doing. I just don't. And you're not enticing me with your views because I know you guys are not getting views. You guys are struggling. You're advertising right now. You've got millions of views, but you're catering to people because you're after the real estate of the content. So they're after the real estate because we made videos. And the videos don't have to be that great. Now, I do put thought into what I say, because it's just based off of me, you know, so it's going into the a super mind, a super brain. And so I can optimize my own videos however I want to. I can put whatever links into my videos that I want to. And that's why these people, a lot of times you'll find some search engine optimization people who will be falsely nice to you because they want you to put their links and their search engine optimization stuff into your videos. Which will benefit them more than it benefits you. And that's the only reason that they want channels that have a lot of videos on them is for real estate purposes. You know, to be able to put things inside of the videos for search engine optimization. And so it looks like I made a bunch of videos today that is not aligning with the algorithm today. I did. But they're things I wanted to talk about. I decided I wanted to talk about these things. And so I don't know if there's going to be a way for them to be picked back up in the future or if I just made too many videos. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, but there is, every once in a while, there is something I can do and it will get some views. But we are in the doldrums of summer too. This August is the worst month, I'd say, for advertising. They're probably getting ready to gear up here soon for Halloween, for fall, for the holidays, and that's usually when advertising picks back up again. And, you know, someone was asking me about, oh, they were asking me about the pizza. I'd kind of forgotten that I made the Skibbity toilet. Let's go down here and see how far down did I do that? the skibbity toilet with the pizza cooker on it, because that one was funny. I thought, actually, I think a lot of my videos are funny. I even think the videos are funny of the husband and the wife. And I put, I love my wife so much. And it's like, okay, no man ever feels that way. That's why it's so funny. It's like, no man, that's only something a woman would do. I love my wife so much. I gotta keep doing that because it's funny. It just did. Oh my gosh, that one went off a lot. I'm surprised that video took off, but it did. Burger King Jesus, hilarious. Jesus is my main squeeze, hilarious. That one's funny. These were funny. I popped off a whole bunch of them in a row, and which triggered the algorithm a little bit. Funny. What's this one? This one's not as big, but it's still funny. Foster care. Oh, that one. I thought that one was funny. The foster care, going to the steak joint to feed the kids. I thought that one was funny. I don't know if anybody gets it or not, but what it is that these kids have lost their foster care, or they're under the foster care of the state. So the state, which is the police officer, he's going to the steak joint to get steaks for the kids who are in foster care. So I thought the premise of that video was funny. And then I have the bobsled. I didn't mean to make you upset, which is, the Jesus bobsled. I thought that one was funny. So lost without you, the man and the woman who love each other. I thought that was funny. That one was really funny. What's this other one? Oh, all of these are doing good. Now the Jeffrey Epstein didn't do good. Now there's a guy yesterday on on this channel. I was watching on this channel, yeah. And he said that they're ready to drop Jeffrey Epstein because they're not really interested in Jeffrey Epstein anyway. Let's see. This one, Haunting Echoing Heartbeats of the Struggle of John E. Clown. This one did pretty good. It was so good to see you again. The local bakery run by a coven of witches. Coven of Witches. I didn't get any views of Ozzy Osbourne and Janis Joplin looking like each other, so I think I'll probably go ahead and delete that video eventually. Maybe not right now, but I thought that was kind of funny, Ozzy Osbourne and Janis Joplin looking like each other, because they did in that video. The clapper, the perpetual eternity clock. Let's see. Clapper, the perpetual eternity clock. I'd have to look at that to see what I did with that. YouTube trailer goes without saying, that's funny. That one was funny. It's an AI video and the toes are on backwards, and the YouTube trailer has a foot that's on a tow truck. That one is funny. Let's see, what else? Did you know that the year 1970 could buy a house in 6 years? That one only got 63 videos. Alcatraz Prison only got 10 videos. Train Conductor, that one was funny. That's an AI video. Train Conductor, it got train. Oh, what it is there is people sitting on the train tracks, and they're playing an orchestra on the train tracks. If nobody gets it, nobody respects women more than Donald Trump. Third-person statements. That one did pretty good, actually. I showed a little image, and that one actually was pretty decent. But the train conductor one, I thought that was funny because of the fact it's like you got a band conductor and you got a train conductor. Conductor and conductor. Plus you've got semiconductors. I have not even made the train conductor conducting the semiconductors. And so this one was funny. Troll GE Stagecoach Services. That one I thought was hilarious. And I actually thought my dude video, you got some bad breath, of Donald Trump and the little cookie, gingerbread cookie guy from TikTok. I thought that one was funny, but it didn't get as many views. Would you eat my stew from the pot? I thought that one was funny because it's actually, we call a cooking pot a pot, and so their little troll GE is, or no, is that what is that one called? Gargoyle. it's a gargoyle. So it's cooking on the pot. It's a pot, like a toilet pot, John. You know, the John pot that you go potty in. And it's cooking on the stove top, and a little gargoyle is cooking a stew in there. And I thought, oh my gosh, that one is so funny, because I'm taking everything out of context. Absolutely everything in the series of AI videos is completely taken out of context, every which way you look at it. Even AI helps participate with that too. And I even had a good one I was thinking about when I was reading through the Confederate stuff, and they said they used corn stalks to go fighting in war. They used literally used corn stalks to go fighting with, because they had no ammunition, no nothing. So they said they just used corn stalks from the field as part of their munitions against the enemy, because neither side had any type of heavy artillery or anything like that. And so this one did pretty good. What was this? It was called Trump Takes Questions from the Great Intellects and Some Reporters. Yeah, that was kind of a jab at who is the great intellects, and then some reporters. So it was a jab at the reporters are not the great intellects. And so then my one, I'm just a corn husker with leafy greens. That one didn't do very well. I think I made too many videos that day, though. I think that's what happens. Some days I just make too many videos. I think that might be what it is. Kissing the tarmac and run away music video short. Kissing the tarmac is funny. I've always said that about the planes. Now when the wheels set down, they're kissing the tarmac. You know, maybe I should make, I should make some lips. I should make some lips on the, I already did make lips on the airplane video. I've made a couple of them that have lips, actually. I think I should make some lips on the wheels, though. Maybe I'll make some lips on the wheels, because I have made lips on the front of the airplane. And then I've had the pilots, they're out there kissing. I mean, AI interpreted it that way. It does look like two men, but it's actually a man and a woman. The woman has short hair, so her hair is cut just like the man's. So it's a man and a woman. Flex and parasitic head. That one is hilarious, because it made a parasitic head on the flexor of an arm. Let's see. My synonyms and Grammarlies don't get viewed a whole lot. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. My fashion modeling of the home improvement store dress. That one was funny. I used tubes. I used metal tubes. That one was funny. Troll GE, unexpected nap time. That one is funny. I think it is. Google Meet, calling, replacing, legacy. I don't know what I did there. Oh, this one is funny. Cialis. When life is hard, just see Alice. Don't make your life harder. Just go see Alice. The pterodactyl poop. That one didn't get many views for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I did too many videos. I'm not quite sure. Would you eat my stew from the pot I made? So gargoyle is up here cooking again on the pot. Jeffrey Epstein's island list missing. Please call the police if found. I only got 178 views. The airplane is going in for a landing where there is a mansion in the middle of the runway. What? What happened there? AI, you put a mansion in the middle of the runway. So I was explaining to AI that I wanted an island that was small, but you could land a big airplane on it, and there had to be a mansion on the island. So it actually put a mansion in the middle of the runway. That's what it did. AI did this all by its own little old lonesome self. It put a mansion in the middle of the runway. And so I thought this video was funny. Butterflies under the sea. And so I put wings on a stick of butter. It only got 101 views, which is kind of sad. I thought that video was funny, and I thought that it should have gone viral, but it didn't. And then I had, so I go into a lull every once in a while. Now this one did good. My skit at the Navy Seaman Firehouse with the little yellow subs. That one did pretty good. Did pretty good. Proof of work with cryptocurrencies. That one got quite a few views. John the Clown seeks self-help with his Weed problem, idiot box. So John the Clown is actually carrying his pot into the doctor's office. That one I thought was hilarious. The only thing I think I can do is reschedule that one for another viewing time. I thought that one was funny. John the Clown is funny. Um, and I don't know if I put any music in there or not. But he's carrying a pot full of flowers into the doctor's office. And so the premise of the video is that he's identified a weed problem with pot, and so he's carrying his pot full of weeds into the doctor's office. That's what he's doing. John the Clown he's identified he's a pot user. So he's carrying his pot, which is a toilet full of weeds, into the doctor's office. And he's asking the doctor for help. And I only got 16 views. Can you imagine if someone would carry a pot? Now, if they had a small pot, because I've got like a waffle iron looking pot, and I'm calling it a pot, which is the John. And so we have the name of pot and John and toilet and sewer. We have so many names. Skibbity toilet. Skibbity toilet does pretty good. Oh, this one did really good too. My heart will go on. Yeah, my heart will go on. And so I made a whole bunch of lifeboats in the shape of pots, of toilets. And so what else did I do? Oh, this one did really good. Did you know in the year 1953 that a 5-pound bag of oranges, 5-pound bag of oranges was about 35 cents? That one did really good. And so I had a little pea pod and oranges together. They did pretty good. They did pretty darn good together. Let's see. What else? Other ones. Oh, the gorilla shaving is hilarious. Gorilla shaving is hilarious. What's this one? Video Voyeurism Prevention Act. John the Cop Skibbity Toilet Trolley Train. The cops actually have a cop car with lights on it shaped like a toilet. Did you guys know that? Yes, they do. Absolutely. Beast Gorilla tips on how to shave and get smooth legs with shaving cream. So we're giving gorillas razors. That's what's going on in that video. John the Clown is sharing his stool sample with the doctor's office. So John the Clown has a stool. Yes, yeah, that's right. Another word for toilet for John. Toilet John pot. So he's bringing his stool sample into the doctor's office. And so he's actually taking pot into the doctor's office too, the pot and the stool sample into the doctor's office. Now we've got Welcome to Papa John's Skibbity Surreal Toilet Pizza Cooker. That one did pretty darn good. Tinseltown Light 'em Up Drive, YouTube special effects we got going on there. Surreal YouTube special effects, complicated. We've got Skibbity John the Dragon. They do pretty good. Skibbity John is doing pretty darn good there. Psychedelic Magic Mushroom, he didn't do as good. Self-help therapy, some of the signs when a marriage is over before you file for divorce. That one did pretty good. What else have we got? When someone builds a wall to keep you out, it's not your job to knock it down. That one didn't do as good. Words of Wisdom didn't do as good. Maybe some of these aren't public yet. I don't know if they're scheduled now. I might be getting into ones that have not been released yet, possibly. They could be scheduled. I think they're scheduled, maybe. Maybe that's why they don't have any views. That's a possibility. Oh, TSA airline eliminates no shoes when flying. That one is funny. So that means you can they eliminate no shoes when flying. That means you can go to the airport and you don't have to wear shoes. You don't have to wear shoes over to the airport. Genetic modification, ocean hybrids. That one didn't do very good, but I still thought it was funny. I did. I thought it was funny. Beautiful scrap yarn crochet blanket stitch. That one did pretty good. The 3 simple basics of crochet coil stitch. That one did pretty good. English language homophone free cough or freak off. Oh, that one didn't do as well because that was a homophone. That one didn't do as well. My homophones are not doing as well. Oh, I did. That one did pretty good. The homophone for Black Ops. That one did okay. Algeria homophone. That one did okay. The Tesla car didn't do as good. English homophone, recognize car or recognize car. Oh, that one's funny. That one came from what's his face? Vsauce. English wordplay homophone, recognize car. Who invented the hover technology with licensing, with proprietary licensing? That one, I got a few views. Hopefully some of these will pick up later on. It appears that maybe some people have mixed some of them. I'm not sure. So I don't like the idea of cutting someone off, if I make them private for releasing again, because then they get a thing that says, well, the video has been removed, when technically the video's not been removed and I have it scheduled for release again, because we can do that. We can release videos again. The police and the lawyer lied to the public. Should the public lie to the police and the lawyer? That's the name of the video. Doesn't it make sense? The police and the lawyer lied to the public, so should the public lie to the police and the lawyer? That's a valid question there. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I love my Columbine flowers. And the truth is, we don't have to talk to scammers and telemarketers. My high canopy drive, that one didn't do as well. My crowphone, oh, that one's funny. The microphone is funny because it's a crow. How to water your lawn and mow at the same time, that one is funny. I hate my job mowing the lawn. It sucks. That one is funny. We all hate mowing the lawn. What's this one? And then we discovered from outer space, the earth is made of lemonade. That one is funny. The earth is made of lemonade. Maybe I should do more of those. I'm thinking maybe I need to do some earth videos maybe. How to use your robot to clean the bathroom. That one is hilarious. That's funny. What else do we have? The 4th of July Skibbity Toilet. The Skibbity Great Pumpkin Head Skibbity Toilet. That one's funny. And this is what happened. The piglets. Oh, I think that one's kind of naughty of something or another. I'm not quite sure what. And then we were faced with this obstacle. That one's fun. I think they're all funny. If I didn't think they were funny, I wouldn't be doing them. What is our budget to run this country as capitalists of the United States? Oh, that one is the 1776 founders. So what I did was I made an image of what looks like the 1776 founders of the United States. And they're asking the question, what is our budget to run the United States of America at the founding of the country of 1776? That's what I'm doing right there with that one. Wife, a conflict of contradictions. I really wish that I would still be able to use those with the words, because I like the words that show up. I like the words when they show up and they don't make sense. I mean, I wish that, but then the problem is then the error message I've been getting, it says, well, this app is not intended for that purpose. And it's like, well, why not? Why is the app not intended for that purpose? I want to be able to use it for a 3-minute vlog of an opinion of something. And I like it when the text actually doesn't do it exactly right. I think that's part of the artwork of it. Let's see, what else? Why are there so many videos about skibbity toilets? Oh, that one's funny. How are we supposed to have a romantic honeymoon with mom and dad in the same room? Oh, that one was funny. I think I've done some of this stuff I think I've seen before, or something I've done before maybe. I'm not sure. We have a cleanup on aisle 8, and there's a big giant donkey dinosaur type thing making a huge mess. If Uranus was this big, okay. ASMR eating, that one didn't get many views for some reason. It could be just that I put it out at the wrong time, or I made too many videos. Maybe I just made too many videos. I don't know. The ABC song of powwow. I don't know why that one didn't get many views. Scientists have discovered a liquid shaped, shape shifting robot that crawls through the grass. The robot powwow. I thought that was cool because it kind of coincided with the Canadian powwow Indian thing that was going on, because I thought that was kind of fun. Johnny Appleseed finds his Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Oh my gosh, someone left a comment about that one that said they hated AI for that one. I am a sawhorse that eats hay. I thought that one was funny. I am a pony named Wildfire and a seahorse living in the ocean. A seahorse living in, yes, a seahorse and sawhorse. You know, the seesaw, the seahorse and the saw. Oh, that might be another video. We might be doing another, the seahorse and the sawhorse, because a sawhorse is something you use with construction. This is how I mix my media. This is how I mix it up. Would the computer have ever been invented with a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset? Oh, what a feeling. We are dancing on the ceiling. That woman is built like a brick house, and so she has a brick house on the top of her head, and her whole dress is made out of bricks. I'm picking head lice and nits out of human hair, and so there's a robot that's actually picking nits and lice out of a blonde woman's hair. How come I do this job for free and no one is paying me? So this is the robot asking. So as they're picking the tomatoes so ever so delicately, they're not smashing the tomatoes, but they're picking them ever so delicately so as to not smash the tomatoes. How come my hair follicles have no flavor? It said spaghetti on the package, so AI is eating something that looks like spaghetti. Quantum soap bubbles, AI cubism. What is the speed of relaxation? Oh, these are questions we need to ask. What is the speed of paint? What is the sight of paint? What is the sound of paint? What's the sound of paint? Besides that slathering, what is the sound of paint after it dries? What is the sound of your hair follicle? Does our hair follicle make a sound that we just can't hear? Does grass growing? You know, actually, this is the time of year, actually, that, what's the speed of color? Speed of light. Now, this is the time of year, no, are we in the middle of August? Yeah, we're towards the middle of August right now. So July is the time of year where corn, it makes a distinct growing sound. And my mom always said this. She said you can hear the corn popping in the middle of the night. And I never fully understood what she was talking about with the corn popping, because I actually thought it was bugs, like bugs and grasshoppers and things out in the corn. But the way she heard it, Mom heard it as the corn growing, because like in a week, the corn could grow like maybe 8 inches. I mean, she said that she had seen the corn grow that fast overnight. I believe her, actually, because where I am now, I've watched weeds grow overnight. I have seen them grow like 6 inches overnight. I have no idea how they do it, but there's something, maybe, I don't know if it's the rest at night, and that's when they grow, is at night, when they don't have the sun draining them of energy. I don't know, but they do grow. Weeds grow very, very fast. They absorb the carbon fumes of cars, and when you have weeds and trees and things next to an interstate, they absorb the carbon really, really fast. And so that's why I've always said, it's like, I've always made the point of, could we have had a higher ceiling of oxygen on the planet Earth at one time, if we had taller trees and they weren't all cut down? That's a possibility. I don't have the answers, and I can accept that, to not having the answers for that. Virtual signaling from, oh, yeah, so then I go through a little lull of a period, and I don't get much for views because I've posted a lot of videos. And then sometimes I'll get views. Oh, we called animal rescue. The ambulance would not let us on the short yellow bus. That one was funny. I thought that one was funny. Granny's still hot and got it going on. The stink is so bad. What does that say? It's just the stink is so bad. And then there's all these little balls that are exiting out of the sewer. How come animal rescue could not help save us when we needed help? The police car stinks and it smells like someone... Oh, come on. It smells like ammonia and poop after they adopted us. So that was the llamas. So what I saw was this story about these police officers who adopted some alpaca, and now they're being kept inside of a police car, and it smells like ammonia and poop. And now on the show Cops, I saw this police officer, and he was inside of this house where this young girl and her mom was living. They were living there together, and the police officer says, well, with all these cats, he says, can't you smell the ammonia smell, or have you become nose blind to the ammonia smell? And she says, I don't smell it. I've just gotten used to it. So the cats are peeing and pooping all over the place. That's, sometimes that happens. Cats will do that. They just pee wherever. When the litter box is full, if you don't let them outside to go, they just go in the house, which they should be taught to go outside. This one did good. It was a big, beautiful bunker buster. That one actually did really good. Sweeping the depression elephant in the room under the rug. Good news. Inflation. This is all we can deliver to the new car showroom, which was just the shell of the car. It wasn't the whole car, it was just the shell of the car. That was all they could deliver, because with inflation, nobody can afford any more parts on the car. And that's why they just delivered just it's not even painted or anything. It's just the shell of the car. There's nothing in it, no windows, no doors, no nothing. Because of inflation, the car showrooms are just going to have the shell of the car. I think there's an impactful statement. Maybe car showrooms should take that up. If they want to depict that prices are so expensive that nobody can afford to buy a car, put the shell of a car inside. Well, I know of an entity who might pull that off. Good news, the golden skibidi toilet is plugged. What else? Good news, your wedding cake has been delivered to the floor. That's good news, right? It crashed all over the floor. Let's see here. I thought that one was funny. It was a creepy looking integration of a certain president. I thought that one was funny, but it didn't get much for views. Searching for ice in all the wrong places. Which ice are we searching for? Is that ice or ice like in the North Pole, the South Pole, or ice the police agents? What ice are we searching for? I'm 6 years old and I want to play boyfriend with the police officer like Jesse Wellens. You guys know who Jesse Wellens is. A lot of people don't. He's a YouTuber. Let's see. Google Maps. What's this one? Advice for adults who are being harassed by children on the internet. That is a problem. That's a big problem. Hi, I'm Rachel Levine, working out with my short Asian husband. VidCon Los Angeles. Oh, that one is hilarious. The Those are hilarious, actually. A lot of those are hilarious. The skibbity toilet, those are funny. Funny, funny, funny. My short Asian illegal husband studying for citizenship, the test in the grocery cart. So she's pushing around, this really attractive woman is pushing around her short Asian husband in a grocery cart, in a little child's grocery cart through the grocery store. He's studying for his citizenship test. And so she's really attractive, and she's got on a bare midriff, her belly button showing, and she's pushing him around in a shopping cart. What was this other one? It was funny too. I made my Asian migrant husband sign a premarital agreement. He will never get citizenship. That one got a whole lot of views. Does that sound evil? That sounds like something an attorney would do, not me. I'm not an attorney. But I thought of something evil, right? Oh my goodness sakes. Let's see. I thought this one was funny. New vision for information technology highway. And there's a printer out the back of the car, and it's just printing a whole bunch of stuff as it's driving down the highway. And there's this big roll of paper that's just being laid down on the highway. I thought that one was funny. Welcome to the CP Tentanic. Why did I call it a Tentanic? There must have been something. Welcome to the CP Tentanic underwater voyages. Please visit guest services for a refund. Oh, I get it now. And all these phones are floating up out of the Titanic. I decided to call it a Titanic instead of a Titanic. And so there's like, the ship is made out of cellular phones, and there's a whole bunch of cell phones that are floating to the top of the, top of the ocean. I don't think my phone is working. So it's a phone that's been melted and it's stuck to the wall. Oh, this one is funny. Small channels do this, and the algorithm will love you when you are catfishing. And so then the views just end. I don't know why. I have no idea why they just end, but they do. And then now I'm back to the part where I don't get a lot of views. I think I made too many videos. That's what I'm thinking. I might have made too many videos. This one was funny, I thought. Daily reminder, remember where you last left your boots so you can put them on. And so the boots are actually in the center of the head of a Texas Longhorn steer. I thought that one was funny. I did. I thought it was really funny. And the truth is, God is a word theory which can't be proven. That's true. That's absolutely true. And the truth is, sometimes words will sting like that of a bee. That's true. And the truth is, one man's waste is nature's food basket. That's true. And so I think that's it for right now. I've been doing this for an hour. I think that's good. And